pronounce your name and give me the opportunity to serve you and welcome you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Preeti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Devi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you for your wonderful chanting, Mataji. Thank you for your association. Hare Krishna, welcome.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Sri Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. This is Nityananda Balaram Das from Dallas.
Hare Krishna, Nityananda Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. All glories to all the assembled devotees here. Thank you for joining, Prabhuji. Please keep joining every day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vanita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam Mata, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for your wonderful chanting every day. Thank you so much for your wonderful services every day. You are such an inspiration to all of us. Thank you for your association, Mata. Welcome.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shamaguri Devidasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shamaguri Mataji, my Dandavat Pranam at your lotus feet, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. All glories to your strength and inspiration to all of us, Mataji. Thank you for your association. Welcome. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Manjri Leela Devi Dasi from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Manjari Leela Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. All glories. I mean, you had such a wonderful yatra. So Mataji was with His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj and just came back from yatra. Mataji, welcome. We missed your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Nina
Krishna.
Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. All glories to Ashramal devotee. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for your association, Mataji. It's an inspiration to all of us. Please keep joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji.
Did you accidentally mute yourself, Mataji? Hare Krishna, Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. I'm not able to hear you, but please offer my please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj, and we welcome you all on Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all Guru Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. This is Radha Pyari Devdasi from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Radha Pyari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Mataji. Please keep giving us your association. Hare Krishna. So devotees, we are very fortunate to have His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj, who will be joining us shortly, and he's the keynote speaker for today. Prior to his joining, I'll go ahead and provide a brief introduction. So, His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj is a disciple of ISKCON founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and he is an initiating spiritual master within the ISKCON movement. Maharaj was born in New Jersey in 1947. Maharaj came in contact with the International Society for Krishna Consciousness in Denver, Colorado at the age of 24. In 1973, he began practicing Krishna consciousness in New York City and shortly thereafter began serving at the New York at the new Vrindavan Farm community in West Virginia. That same year, he received initiation from His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In 1986, His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj accepted the sannyas order and began practicing in Cincinnati and Columbus, Ohio. In 1995, he began serving as the resident sannyasi in Chicago, where he was based until 2013, when he was relocated to Karlovac, Croatia, in Europe. At present, Maharaj offers spiritual guidance around Europe, USA, and India. Maharaj has also written a book called Krishna's Way, Natural Living, about the importance of Varnashrama Dharma and spiritual ecology. Thank you so much. Let me just see if Maharaj has joined. Yes.
Okay.
Hare,
I'll do them further and I'll keep you updated. Maharaj.
Okay, good. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet, Maharaj. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all our Maharajas, all glories to you. Whenever you're ready, we're so fortunate to have you every other week. Whenever you're ready, Maharaj, you can take the call over. Hare Krishna.
Okay, let me go ahead and share your screen. This is text 25.
Yes, Maharaj.
You sure? I was given a different number. I was given text 35.
Hare Krishna Shamagauri Mataji. For today in the poster, we have 25 to 31.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that they gave it to me wrong. Okay. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Taya Parita Vijnanas Tatkritam Smara Vivalaha Bhavanya Apipasyantya Gatarish Tadpadam Yayo. Lord Shiva, his good sense taken away by the woman because of lusty desires to enjoy her, became so mad for her that even in the presence of Bhavani, which is his wife, he did not hesitate to approach her. Satam aryantam alokyam vivastra vidritam brisam niliyamana vriksesu hasanti navatishtata. The beautiful woman was already naked, and when she saw Lord Shiva coming to her, she became extremely bashful. Thus she kept smiling, but she hid herself among the trees and did not stand in one place. Tam avanyachad bhagavan bhavapamusitendriyaha kamasya cha vasamnitta karenumiva yuktapaha. His senses being agitated, Lord Shiva, victimized by lusty desires, began to follow her, just as a lusty elephant follows a she-elephant. Sonuvraj yati veganam gidvanad nichatim striyam keshabanda upaniya babubhya parashashvaye. After following her with great speed, Lord Shiva caught her by the braid of her hair and dragged her near him. Although she was unwilling, he embraced her with his arms. Sangagudam Bhagavatam Karinam Kariniyata Itata Samparaspanti Viprakirna siroruham atmanam mochatim twangam surasaba bhujantarat pradavad sadprito shroni maya deva vinirmita. Being embraced by Lord Shiva like a female elephant embraced by a male, the woman whose hair was scattered swirled like a snake. O king, this woman who had large, high hips was a woman of Yogamaya presented by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. She released herself somehow or other from the fond embrace of Lord Shiva's arms and ran away. Tasya so padavim rudo vivirno abhuta karmanaha pratyapadam yata kamanena vairaneva vinirjitaha. As if harassed by an enemy in the form of lusty desires, Lord Shiva followed the path of Lord Vishnu, who acts very wonderful and who had taken the form of Mohini. Purport. Lord Shiva cannot be victimized by Maya. Lord Shiva cannot be victimized by Maya. Therefore, it is to be understood that Lord Shiva was being thus harassed by Lord Vishnu's internal potency. Lord Vishnu can perform many wonderful activities through his various potencies. Parasya Shakti Vivadhaya Suryate Svabhaviki Jnana Balakriya Cha. From Svetasvatara Upanishads 6.8. The Supreme Lord has various potencies by which he can act efficiently. To do anything expertly, he does not need to contemplate. Since Lord Shiva was being harassed by a woman, it was understood that this was not being done by a woman, but by Lord Vishnu himself. Om Gyan Timidandasya Girajana Salakaya Chaksu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavari Pastyatya Desatardi Vanchakalpa Terubhischa Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Dvaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaura Bhaktavrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This is a very unique and interesting pastime in the Srimad Bhagavatam, centered around Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is Mahadev. That means he is the best of the Devatas. He is also Asutos. He's also Dhira. He's not easily agitated by happiness and distress. He's fixed. Even young girls worship the Shiva Linga, and he is not disturbed, even in the slightest. He is Dhira. Prabhupada said Lord Shiva is all right, but Lord Shiva had heard from others about how Mohini Murti, who was an incarnation of a beautiful woman, to trick the demons into giving the pot of nectar that they had developed from churning the milk ocean first to the demigods. And the demons were charmed by this lusty woman, because demons are also very lusty. And it's easy for them to become charmed by a beautiful woman. But this woman was not just an ordinary woman. It was Lord Vishnu himself in the disguise of a transcendental charming lady who had all of the voluptuous, attractive features that could mesmerize any living entity, what to speak about the demons and others, what to speak about Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva heard about that. And then he wanted to see that form of the Lord. The Lord warned him and say, you don't really want to see him. But he was insistent. He wanted to see that form of the Lord. And so the Lord satisfied his desire. And here we have this particular pastime where all of a sudden, Shiva was in the forest, this voluptuous, very attractive, very, what we say, beautiful lady in all forms, both physically and facial beauty. She came and she was half dressed. Actually says here that she was naked almost. And when Shiva saw that, he went mad. And he started to follow her and chase her. This is just part of this pastime. You'll read the upcoming verses, which give the whole conclusion, how Shiva was victimized. But this is indication for us also, as Prabhupada used this particular pastime along with the pastime of Lord Brahma, who at one point chased after his own daughter for sex life. And he also gave the same report. Lord Brahma, he's all right. Shiva is all right. But they're teaching that even I can be victimized by the beautiful, charming form of a woman. What to speak of you? And so, therefore, this is a lesson learned, especially for those who have taken up the renounced order of life and who are very much working to absorb themselves in Krishna consciousness, where there is still that attraction, maybe not fully, but to some degree there, because that attraction is the most powerful force in existence materially. Spiritually, Krishna is more powerful, but even those who practice spiritual life, somehow we have an example in our Krishna conscious society where one devotee, after practicing for more than 5 decades of Krishna consciousness, and most of that time was in the sannyas order of life, at the age over 80 years old, he chased after one lady. Of course, we don't want to get into the details, but just to give the example how even one who has been practicing spiritual life for so many, and Prabhupada also says that many stalwart devotees fall down because of two material attractions, money and the opposite sex. And both of them seem to be correlated, they go together. One is chasing after one will also be victimized by the other, and vice versa. So therefore, just as a warning here within the Bhagavatam, because Bhagavatam tells everything as it is, Bhagavatam doesn't keep anything back. Prabhupada said threadbare, down to the essence of the principles of bhakti and how, along with the principles of how material energy works, both on the gross and subtle aspects of material movement. So here we see Lord Shiva was being harassed by a woman, but as it says here, this woman was not an ordinary woman. It was Lord Vishnu himself, who is the source of all beauty, and therefore he took the most attractive female form and showed that to Lord Shiva, and Shiva became victimized. At least apparently it says that. Here it says Lord Shiva cannot be victimized by Maya, but this was not Maya. This was Yoga Maya, the internal potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which attracts everyone, because that Maya is stronger than the Mahamaya. That is the Yoga Maya, or the internal energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, can attract anyone and anyone by the power of Krishna. And Krishna's potencies are working under his direction. This is a warning for those who are practicing Krishna consciousness and want to be free from the victimized of being attracted by the opposite sex. One should never mistakenly think, I'm safe. I'm so advanced in spiritual life. I can never be victimized. I can never be attracted. I'm fixed. I chant the Hare Krishna mantra. I read the Bhagavatam. I avoid all kinds of opportunities for sense gratification. No, we have so many examples. Ajamil, simply by seeing the lusty activities of a man and woman in the forest when he was passing by, he became attracted to that lady and later on married her. Ajamil was a Brahmin boy. He was sheltered by his parents. He was always engaged in some kind of spiritual activity, and he had no indication, no desire for that. But still, he became victimized. We have Subari Muni, who was meditating underwater, and he saw two fishes engaged in activities, and he also fell victim to that. And then he wound up marrying not only one, but 50 ladies. That's a whole story in the 9th canto. But Bhagavatam teaches you how powerful the external energy is, especially in the form of the opposite sex. And so it's not just one-sided. It's for, as it says in the Shastra, for man, woman is woman, and for woman, man is woman. In other words, the word woman refers to the opposite sex. So also women can also be victimized in their Krishna consciousness. Not as easy as men, because men have less to lose by becoming victimized, where women have a lot to lose. And therefore, women are more careful and more controlled, but still they also become victimized also in certain situations. So one should be, and therefore one of the ways we can somehow minimize the possibility of becoming victimized is to keep good association with advanced devotees, and especially very, very strong sadhana, chanting 16 good rounds every day, reading the Bhagavatam, and keeping oneself engaged in devotional service throughout the day. And sometimes we say, if you have, when Maya comes in any form, you just say, excuse me, Maya, but I'm busy. I got some service to do. So you kind of push back Maya or push her away by keeping yourself absorbed in Krishna conscious activities. Then we used to say, we have no time for Maya. When Prabhupada was giving a lecture in India somewhere, I forget, I think it was in Delhi. This was in the beginning when he brought many of his Western disciples to India for around the first time. He was giving a talk in one Pandal program. And at the end of the Pandal program, one very important man in the government came and paid full obeisances to Srila Prabhupada. Would, head on the floor, arms outstretched at Srila Prabhupada's feet. The disciples, the devotees, the Westerners, were a little bit amazed to see how such a highly placed government person could be so attracted to Srila Prabhupada. So they said to Srila Prabhupada, what is it about you that attracts people like that? And Prabhupada responded immediately by saying, I have no lust. And then he left, got in his car, and started to go back to his place where he was staying. Some of the same devotees came in the same car, and they were riding with Prabhupada. It was silent. And Prabhupada could understand the devotees were still thinking about what he said. So when he got to his place, he opened the door, got out, turned around, looked at the devotees and said, "It's not because I have no lust, it's because I have no time." And that's important. Not if you give Maya time, then she'll take 1 minute, and then she'll find ways to take 2 minutes, and then she'll take 5 minutes. And then pretty soon you find yourself outside of Krishna consciousness. So always stay engaged in devotional service. Keep the mind focused on Krishna's the service, his lotus feet. Chant the holy names of the Lord. And even when Maya comes, in whatever form she comes, you can say, "Oh, here comes Maya. I have no time for Maya. I'm too busy serving Krishna." And then also, one will also lose their attraction for, but one should never think, "I'm safe." That's the point. To think you're safe means you're in this very precarious situation where at any minute moment you can be victimized. So one should be very diligent to stay fixed in devotional service. And you might say, "Well, I'm a grihasta, I have a family, I have an occupation, I have to interact with so many different people." But as a grihasta, especially for the male personality, if they are married, they should stay very faithful and chaste to their wife and not somehow think, "Well, because I'm married, I can talk to any woman, I can interact with any woman." That's a little dangerous. And sometimes marriage breaks apart because of these things. So, as it's explained in the Shastras, women is like fire and man is like butter. When you put butter close to fire, you melt. So that's a very strong statement like that. If we read the Shastras, especially in certain sections where this point is elaborated, then we won't be somehow victimized by this material energy, because Krishna consciousness is much more powerful, but we have to dive deeply into it in order to taste that sweetness. And then as, what's that famous sadhu? His name was Jamunacharya. Jamunacharya was growing up as a young boy in a very strict spiritual atmosphere. But then at the age of 12, he entered into a debate. And in that debate, he defeated one of the best debaters. And the king and queen of the area were there. And the king granted him half his kingdom as a reward for his success in defeating this pundit. And then he had a kingdom and he started to rule. And then what happened was he started to forget about his spiritual life and take up more of a material activity. And he became very licentious also. Royal happiness, royal opportunities for sense gratification. By the grace of one of his disciples, well, without going into the whole story in detail, you can read about it. He somehow or other gave it up and came back to his Krishna consciousness. And later on, he became the spiritual master of Ramanujacharya, one of the greatest acharyas in the history of Vaishnava, Siddhanta Vaishnava culture. So, but later on, he wrote a very strong statement. He says, "When I think of sex life, my lips curl in disgust, and I want to," as Prabhupada uses the word, "spite upon it," which means spit. Prabhupada uses the word, he speaks that way. In other words, after tasting the Krishna consciousness, when he thinks about sex life, it's disgusting. So if you can come to that stage of bhakti, which is possible by following the process, then one will be free to become victimized. But still, cautionary statements are also should be kept foremost, and that is, never think yourself safe. Always take shelter of Krishna in every circumstance, and only Krishna can protect you. No one can protect themselves. That is a fact. And we have so many examples of that. So this particular pastime is to illustrate for us, the conditioned souls, how even Lord Shiva apparently can be victimized by the beautiful form of a woman. And what Prabhupada, when he speaks about this particular pastime, he says, what to speak of us, referring to his disciples and others. Well, it's a very instructive pastime. And if you go on, you'll see how the whole thing turns out. And then Lord Shiva comes to his senses after some time. Okay, so we'll stop there and open it up for questions.
Thank you, Maharaj. What a wonderful class. And as you said, yes, we have to be always so cautious that we don't know where the Maya is going to attack us from. And I was pondering on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his earnest servant that was serving him while he was going to South India trip, that even
women get attracted in lusty desires by wanting more and more material things. That's where women are not so much attracted to sex life as men are, but they're attracted to the external atmosphere of the material energy. Nice family, nice clothes, nice jewelry, nice homes, nice. And then, of course, so if we can also be aware of that, because it says women are 9 times lustier than men. That's what it says in the Shastra. But their lust is not focused in the same way. It's more on the external array of what is available in this material world. You tell a woman to live in a cottage on the bank of a river and chant Hare Krishna, she'll say, forget it. Find another wife. so, so they're not so much into renunciation. But that's all right. To learn how to use things in Krishna consciousness, but we have to make sure we don't go beyond a certain limit. That's the point.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you for the wonderful class. We already see a hand raised by Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu. Would you like to go ahead, please, with your question?
Thank you very much. Very much. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Very much. Thank you for that incredibly powerful class that you just spoke. I learned so much from that. It's like, essentially, we should never, ever avert our attention or our mind or our senses away from Krishna, not even for a moment, because of Maya is so powerful and she could just snatch us away in no time. And our only shelter is Krishna. And not only be engaged in Krishna, but intensify our sadhana, intensify our seva, because even when we're weakening in our chanting or our reading or our association, then Maya's edging her way in and she can grab us at any moment. With this, we have to be in this fear of Maya and constantly running for shelter and intensifying that shelter under Krishna.
Yeah,
Guru Maharaj,
that's the proper attitude. That's the safe attitude.
Is there any other attitude to take?
The other attitude will lead you to another birth.
Not unless I can serve Prabhupada in my next birth.
Yeah, but don't gamble.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. That was really, really helpful and amazing.
Okay, we have a can from Prahladananda. Long time. We haven't.
Haribol Maharaj, Danvat Pranam. I have read in Srimad Bhagavatam, Maharaj, in the episode of Kardam Muni and Devhuti, Srila Prabhupada mentions there that, the lust is more in a woman. 9 times. This is what I have read there. Is this correct? I myself am a physician and I have dealt with women and gynec practice, but I do not agree with that. But but this is what I have read, and I was always confused about it. And this episode is like that, so I thought of asking Prabhu.
Came on late. You missed my statement. I said the lust. Yeah, women are 9 times lustier, but their lust is not the same as men, how it plays itself out. It is, they like wealth, they like good, nice home, nice family, nice amenities, nice food, clothing, nice. That's also lust.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And wait a minute, let me finish. I asked a very senior lady, I was present when that question was asked to a very senior lady. And she explained the difference between how men exhibit their lust and how women exhibit their lust. So there is a difference like that.
Well, thank you, Maharaj.
Women have a lot to lose if they get involved in sex life. They can get pregnant. They can be, there would be a possibility of losing the child or having an abortion. So women are trained more by their families and by society to be careful. And their biological difference also. But men are more carefree because they hit on a lady and then they run away and go find somebody else, So yeah, that's the whole point. Women can't do that. They suffer tremendously. So that's why their lust is more, but it's in another form.
Another form, yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for that explanation. Very good. And welcome.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We have Shakshi.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Being on a field day, how can we protect ourselves from falling into these temptations of these materialistic things, like lust towards good home, good family, etc.?
Training starts within the family, and it also continues in Krishna consciousness. But I would say the association of very senior ladies in our movement will also help. I know you're very young, so you're also haven't gone through life's experiences yet. So ladies who are advanced in Krishna consciousness, they've been through everything. They're good monitors. They're good guides. Take shelter of such association and also speak to them about the struggles you're going through as a young lady. And then that along with your own practice of Krishna consciousness, both. We need that association.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. This is really very helpful.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, seek out senior ladies. There's many, especially Prabhupada disciples or others who are, have gone through life's experiences, and they can also guide you.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you so much.
Sridevi Mataji.
Thank you, Nina. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This topic, Maharaj, is of singular importance to us as practicing devotees, as women being in female bodies. I'm asking because I see many ladies today, they're single mothers. For some reason or the other, either they're abandoned, neglected, or they have left an abusive, whatever the reason may be. We have so many single mothers in ISKCON. And naturally, because of their need for protection, feeling vulnerable, they take shelter of, the leader, the temple president, the commander, and this and that. And, because someone has to give them shelter, the leaders have to give shelter, the leader also gets involved. And before you know it, there's an affair going on. So what can be done in such situations where we know all the things, but circumstances are such? What will that poor lady do? Where will she go? And what will the poor man do? Because he also has to protect the ladies in his congregation, being a leader. Can you please help in this area?
That sounds like unhealthy association, which can lead to something like that. That association shouldn't be there. That's unhealthy, that association. She should put herself under senior ladies, not senior men.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? Or there's one question on the chat. I can read it for you. There are some comments from Krishna Kaviraj. Prabhu is saying, never avert your mind from Krishna. We are always in danger of the attack of Maya. Our only shelter is Krishna. Chant the names of Krishna. Hear and read about Krishna. Discuss topics about Krishna. Sing and dance for Krishna. Krishna, Krishna. Then we have from Sadhar Changi Radha Devi Mataji. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for the wonderful class. Sunil Prabhuji is also applauding your class, Maharaj. Janva Mataji saying that thank you for answering the questions. Braja Mandala Das, Prabhuji, I see that you've written, can I say something? Of course you can, Prabhu, if you could kindly unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Gurudev. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to your lotus feet, and all glories to all the Vaishnavas here and around the world. Gurudev, I just want to add to this really important topic, and I'm quite open to talk about things, especially about my own life, that I've had ups and downs in my spiritual life throughout my younger years and adult years. And I have found that there is no happiness. There's just no happiness. It doesn't exist. It just does not exist. So if anyone has any thoughts of they're procrastinating, forget it. Just stay on the path of bhakti. Just chant your rounds, get up early, chant. Harinam, Harinam, Harinam eva kevalam. That's the only happiness that I have truly, truly found, Guru Maharaj. And I relish it, in my life. I'm relishing it, and I've had my experiences. And I just wanted to say that, we do have ups and downs in Grihastha Ashram, or if you're, you're single, you do have ups and downs on your spiritual path. But the key element in my success, or trying to succeed, should I say, Gurudev, was association. And, we associate with really nice Vaishnavas, but we have to kind of find devotees which are like-minded to ourselves. And I found that when I found those devotees that are like-minded to me, Guru Maharaj, it just went bang. Like, it just blossomed so beautifully, like a flower opens up. And I just felt very safe, very happy. And even in this this group chat of ours, personally, I feel very, very welcomed, very happy, very able to talk about these topics and these situations. And I urge all of us Vaishnavas that don't shy away, do talk about it. If there's anything troubling, talk about it. We are here as a family to help each other. I just thought I'd add that.
Prabhupada used to tell us that if we don't talk about it, we will internalize these problems, and then our movement will become weak. He said we need to discuss it regularly. Otherwise, the desires are there, and then we internalize it, and we try to solve it ourselves, and then we get confused. Therefore, when you discuss it, you get so many ideas, so many, you see things from so many different angles, and you can understand what is the conclusion ultimately. But one thing you said about chanting is that the chanting is always moving as long as we're steady in our chanting, always getting better and nicer. As long as we continue to work on our chanting and keep practicing. Where anything in material life initially is very attractive. Give it some time, it turns around and has a different face. That's the way material life is. Initially, there's some attraction, but it may also go up a little bit, but at one point it stops, and then sometimes it goes down and turns into something really opposite of what it was when it was there. We see that all the time. Because we are not material and we can't be satisfied with anything material. That's the point.
Correct. Yeah, that is actually. Thank you very much. That's. Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to share that because, as I said, I've had ups and downs. Yeah, it's important that we talk because you can't just do it on your own. It doesn't exist. You have to communicate with your God brothers and sisters and the Vaishnavas, whom you feel comfortable with, to help and support each other along the journey.
Yeah, and the conclusion is coming back to Krishna is the goal.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Material life is what it is. There's nothing new.
There's a saying, spiritual life is really hard, material life is impossible.
That's a very good saying. And and there's another saying, if you choose the material over the spiritual, you lose both.
Oh, that's bad. Yeah, that's so bad. I didn't know that's a good one. I'll remember that one. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
That was a nice point you made. Thank you. Yeah, we have Bhagavan Nitai.
Yes. Balvan Nitai Prabhuji, if you'd like to go ahead. Maharaj, I love that point. You said it so nicely that basically the problem is happening because we have forgotten who we are. We are not material. And it's so important, so profound. Balvan Prabhuji, if you would like to go ahead with your question, please.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my most humble obeisances. All glories to you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Jai Shri Nityananda. Obviously, incredibly important topic. I remember our earlier discussion where you pointed me to the third canto, Maya comes in the form of woman. I take that to heart and I think about that expression quite frequently. But let's say you meet a pious, chaste Vaishnava Mataji lady. Can you say, in the Grihastha order, can you say something about a Krishna conscious relationship and how that should develop?
Yeah, well, there is principles. The word ashram, grihastha, whatever ashram, brahmachari, means place of spiritual cultivation. So, and there are principles, sometimes we say rules and restrictions that one should follow in order to develop that ashram successfully. That means to develop the relationship based on keeping Krishna and spiritual principles foremost, and at the same time satisfying your material desires up to a point and not beyond. And so there are principles, there's rules and regulations. You read the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which was mentioned today. There's many, many guidelines there between that pastime of Devahuti and Candramauli. That's one of the, what we say, highlighted pastimes that really give an insight to the principles of Grihastha Ashram. And so you listen to Srila Prabhupada's lectures. There are books also. Just like someone asked me, they want to have a child. So I explained, the woman asked me, and I said, your husband has to approach the spiritual master and ask the spiritual master for permission and blessings. Otherwise, if they don't, they put themselves in a very awkward situation. And that's mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam in the 7th canto, that permission before conceiving a child is required in Vaishnava circles to get the blessing and to get the permission of the spiritual master. And it's not something that was hidden, even in Vaishnava culture. Before a man was going to impregnate his woman, he would announce it to friends, relatives, and there would be a ceremony to bless the couple, and then they would go on like that. So there are principles to follow preceding bringing a child in, and of course there are principles in developing a Krishna consciousness relationship within that environment, which includes children and deity worship and so many other things. So Grihastha Ashram is one of the ashrams where you can practice Krishna conscious, and you can be fully Krishna conscious if you practice properly. But if you don't know the rules and regulations, and you simply go about what society gives you, you're going to fall into a difficulty in developing a proper relationship. There's a role. Men play a role, women play a role. They have to play that role accordingly. And Krishna's we call Krishna the third partner, or the essence of that relationship. So there's books up on it, both in detail and in general also. So if you're interested, you can read. And Bhagavatam also covers it.
I love that, the third partner. I'll definitely remember that, Guru Maharaj. That's perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your wonderful question, Bhagavan Prabhuji. We have Bala Prabhu. Would you like to go ahead, please?
Yes, Mataji, thank you very much. Appreciate giving me the opportunity. Guru Maharaj, thank you so much for the wonderful class. Sorry, my throat is a little bit scratchy. So from this pastime of Lord Shiva and Mohini Murti, that we're learning that the material energy is so powerful. So in this Kali Yuga, even the Nama is the number one thing, chanting and hearing, but it seems like sometimes it's daunting. Would this ever happen?
Yeah, what's the word you used? It seems like it is what? What was that word you said?
It is a daunting task.
Daunting.
Yes.
Well, if we're going to chant, we have to chant in such a way as to avoid the offenses. If you're chanting with offense, you're going to find it's going to be very difficult to not be attracted to Maya. You have to somehow or other come to the stage of chanting without offense. That's why we speak and review these 10 offenses to the holy name every day as a way to remind us what they are and how we should avoid them also. So chanting is very powerful. It's Krishna himself in sound vibration. And it uplifts the consciousness from the material to the spiritual. There's so many benefits from chanting. But chanting requires cultivation of the quality of chanting, along with serving devotees. If we're chanting and we're not associating with and serving devotees, we're going to find it's very hard to actually perfect our chanting or develop what we say pseudonam, or not pseudonam, but even, what was it? What is that called? The intermediate stage.
Namabash.
Namabas. Yeah. Even Namabas, there is a glimmer of the holy name that one can taste. So the process works, but you have to include the rest of the process along with the chanting. That means hearing, reading Srimad Bhagavatam every day. For those who live in Grihastha life, worshiping the deity, associating with and serving devotees, and living in a holy place. That means if living in a temple or living in a holy place, if you can't live in either one, then create a holy place at your home and make your home a temple by setting up regular worship in the home, offering your food, offering arti, and praying to the Lord in the form of a deity. If you're not qualified to have deities according to the standard of your practice, then at least you can have an altar with different pictures on it. And that's also a focus for grihastas. So yeah, it doesn't have to be a daunting task. It can be a very pleasurable task. There's one particular book I would recommend for devotees to read. It's I have the book right here. I can actually show it to you. Very small book in size. It's called Japa. And it says here, Japa affirmations. 20 affirmations. Affirmation is a statement of a vow that I will follow this particular affirmation in any and every situation. So this is 20 affirmations by Mahatma Das, who teaches japa workshops. One of the affirmations that he writes is, when I chant, I chant. That means he doesn't do anything else. And then he gives some discussion that. One of the ones I like is, I get to chant, I want to chant, and I love to chant. So put these positive statements in your mind before you begin your japa. Another one, I receive and feel Krishna's presence, mercy, and love in his holy name. Another affirmation, I chant to please Radha and Krishna, not to gain anything material. That's another one. I'm out of my mind and in my heart, fully present in the holy names when I chant. Each one of these headings has a discussion attached to it. I fully honor my sacred relationship with the holy names during japa. There's many other statements. There's 20 of them. I chant to be accepted by Krishna and to repair my broken relationship with him. Well, these are statements that you can make in fixing your mind in the mood of chanting. And then, of course, you can get this book. It's not hard to get. Just look up Mahatma Das on the internet, and it's called Japa Affirmations. He's a Prabhupada disciple, travels around, gives seminars on the holy name and on other important Vaishnava subjects. So it's a little handbook. You can see how small it is. It's really small. It's like this, it's about this big, the width of my finger and thumb, like that. Keep it in your pocket, carry it with you everywhere. Read one affirmation every day before you begin your japa. These are all helpful ways to go deeper into our Krishna conscious practice, especially our chanting.
Wonderful. So wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Balaji, for your question. Thank you, Maharaj, for sharing this. It's so wonderful. Yes, and it's so small. And before, if we read that, or even before we go to bed, if we just ponder on it and take it to our subconscious mind, probably our thoughts, our consciousness can get transformed. So nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, an affirmation is something that you say and you're going to do it. And it brings about the results simply by keeping your mind focused on what you want to do.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Never being a defeatist. Oh, the chanting is difficult. The chanting takes so long. Chanting is daunting. Now, these are things that make chanting more difficult. Keep it on the positive level.
Thank you, Maharaj. While I'm waiting for devotees to ask more questions, I'm quickly browsing on the chat box to see if there's anything. Never return.
What does Janava Devi Dasi have to say?
I'm trying to find Prabhuji. Spiritual life is difficult, but material life. I saw from Janava Devi Mataji, so many women want children so badly that they do whatever to get a child. I mean, that's her comment.
Yeah, but then that's dangerous. The results may not be so nice. Even if you get the child, it may also be there might be so many other things that come with it.
There's also Janava Mataji was saying, Maharaj, we always talk about the danger of falling down, so to speak, but equally must not we talk about the process of how to get up and overcome these falling down episodes of our spiritual life?
Yeah, that's what we talked about today. Okay, if there's no more questions, we can end here.
Maharaj, do you have to go? Because there's one more question from Krishna Prabhuji, Krishna Kaviraj. Prabhuji, would you like to go ahead?
Thank you very much. You hit a really important, you mentioned a really important point about chanting and the impact of good association on our chanting. And I learned from my experience that association, the value and the intensity of that association depends on many things, not only the person that you're trying to take association from, but also from yourself and your mood in that particular time, your consciousness at that time. And then there's all the other living entities and energies in the room. There's so many things that come into play. So there seems to be an art of how to really take good association. And I find like there was a particular moments, like for example, when I was hearing from Satyananda Maharaj, and there was just that, I heard him for maybe 2 hours, but there was just like 30 seconds where I really heard him. And that 30 seconds, which is just life-changing.
Yeah. Listening carefully gives you more than just what is being said. Helps you understand deeper what is the message along with the words or the mood. That there's the mood. pick up on the person's mood along with the words they say. And you actually connect with that person in a very deep way. Yeah.
Have you any suggestions on how to pick up on that mood?
Yeah. There's one easy, very simple response. When you're in association with anyone, always be in the mood of service. How can I serve? So the mood of service will keep you free from personal, what we say, desires for personal gain. And it'll give you an opportunity to see how you can serve. We serve in different ways. We sometimes say some kind words, that's forms of service. Sometimes we help somebody in an ordinary way do something. We appreciate another person's association by showing appreciation for that association.
Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah, you have to understand material life is just to get through things and do things, and so you can complete things and get something from them. Spiritual life is entering into a mood of personal exchange, keeping Krishna and spiritual principles in the center. Every opportunity to associate is an opportunity to grow in Krishna consciousness.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Maharaj, do you have a few more minutes, or you're tired? You feeling tired?
Is there more questions?
I just had one little question.
Yeah, sure.
If I may, or it can wait. If you want. So, Maharaj, I keep pondering. So, I was, for example, my soul, I was there in Satya Yuga, and when the entire environment was to constantly pray to Lord, everything was offered to Vishnu, Krishna, so couldn't make it, fell down to Treta, and then same thing, there was Lord Ram there and fell down to Dwapar, probably Krishna was there, fell down to Kali Yuga. So I'm thinking, and now not only in Kali Yuga, it's the soul is trapped in a woman's body. So I feel like, will this really work? Will we ever go back to Godhead? Sometimes it comes, those things like in every year the soul has been there. It has been just deteriorating, even though we had the best of the best chances to go back. Now the devil is inside. In Kali Yuga, the devil is still inside.
Kali Yuga is more
Any thoughts of inspiration? Say again, Maharaj.
There's much more mercy in Kali Yuga. And because the presence of Lord Chaitanya. Kali Yuga Pavana Kali Boyanasana Sri Sachinandana Re Kali Yuga Pavana Kali Boyanasana Sri Sachinandana Re Namo Mahavadanaye Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namari Gaura Krishna Namaha. Lord Chaitanya is the embodiment of transcendental happiness, transcendental mercy, transcendental compassion, and transcendental pastimes. So center your focus on Lord Chaitanya. He's your homeboy anyway, right?
It's high time. So it's now or never.
Lord Chaitanya is so possible.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for your wonderful association. Devotees, with your kind permission, we will end the call here. Let's offer our humble obeisances to His Holiness. One Chakalpatarpyascha Kripa Sindhubhyacha Patitana Pavani Vaishnavi Namo Namaha. Srimad Maharaj, Srimad Bhagavatam.
Bhagavatam ki jai.
Candramauli Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Maharaj.